going to wrap the 7 sayings up with the 7th saying, and that is the word of contentment. And Deacon Elijah Jones is coming to us right now. Let's give him a hand clap.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Give honor to God, to Pastor Rudolph, Dr. Maloney, and Pastor Marisol, all the elders, deacons. What a wonderful night.
Yes.
Young people, I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
That was an anointed and blessed play.
It was.
And if nobody got up to speak tonight, that told the
That
story.
would have exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That told the complete story right there. God bless
Amen.
you all. All right, I have the word of contentment, which we will be reading Luke chapter 23, verse 46. And when Jesus had cried with a loud voice, "See, Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit." And having said thus, he gave up the spirit. As I was reflecting on this week, a couple things came to my mind. First of all, I was thinking about the word of contentment, and it just dawned on me. How was he content? He was on the cross. He was being crucified for something he didn't do. And another word that jumped out at me was content. And content means to be happy with one's lot. Command means putting care of one another and to entrust. And that word entrust just jumped out at me, to entrust something to someone. That means it's something very valuable. Something very valuable is something that you entrust to someone. So hold on to that word, because we're going to come back to that. But as I read the scripture in another verse, it said to commit, which means basically the same thing. But that word again, entrust, came out. So again, I said, well, Lord, where are we going with this? And he took me to the fact that Jesus didn't have to die. And what's more, we couldn't kill him. He had to lay down his own life. No man could take it from him. In the Gospel of John, and here we go. In the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verses 14 through 18, we read, "I am the good shepherd, and know my sheep, and am known of mine. As the Father knoweth me, even so I the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep. Other sheep I have, which are not of this fold, them also I must bring. And they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. Therefore doth my Father love me, because I lay down my life, that I may take it again." So God gave Jesus the authority to lay down his life and to take it again. "No man taketh it from me, but I lay it down myself. I have power to lay it down, I have power to take it up again. This commandment have I received of my Father." So as I was thinking on this, the fact that no man could kill Jesus, it brought me back to the fact of, in the Gospels we read many times Jesus doing things and confronting the Pharisees. And it brought to mind those times where they wanted to kill him. They wanted to stone him, they wanted to cast him over cliffs. All these times when he came against the Pharisees and their teachings, they got angry and they wanted to kill him. But it wasn't his time. And he knew it wasn't his time. What's more, they didn't have the authority to take his life. Only he had the authority to lay down his life. And what blessed me was just thinking that all of this took place before the creation of the world. See, Deacon-elect Keith just took all my material.
Sorry.
We shall have a meeting after service. But that's what happens. God brings a message and he brings confirmation, and you know that it's God speaking and not just man. And I just want to say that when Jesus cried with a loud voice, what came to my mind was, it ties into Jesus saying it is finished. When he was on the cross and he said it was finished, it was followed by, and Jesus had cried with a loud voice, and he said, "Father, I commend my spirit." And having said thus, he gave up the spirit. The Bible doesn't tell us what he cried, but to me, he cried a shout of victory that rang through the corridors of hell, that told Satan you are defeated, that told Satan that you have authority over my people. Death, where is thy sting? Grave, where is thy victory?
Yes.
At that point, Jesus did it. He gave out such a shout, I believe, that no creature in hell could even, they just all had to stop and listen and hear. Because what he did then, oh, he went down.
Yes.
He went down and he took back something that we had lost in the garden.
Yes.
And he brought it back up and he said, all power
Unto
in
me.
heaven and
Mhm.
because of that, we too need to commend ourselves to God. And one day we are going to commend ourselves to God and go home with Him.
Yes.
But the Lord was telling me, what about commending your life to me every day?
All right.
Wow.
What about every day waking up and say, God, not my will, but thy will be done?
Yes.
You see, when Jesus was in Gethsemane, he was battling. And he said, Lord, if there's another way, let this cup pass me. But nevertheless, not my will, but thy will be done.
Right.
We too have choices. And we too need to get up every day and say, Lord, order my steps today.
Yes.
We've learned that in our leadership.
Yes.
But we need to put it into practice.
Yes.
Order my steps today. We don't. Sometimes we get scared to ask God, let me do your will, because we think He's going to send us to the Philippines or somewhere else.
The Philippines.
Do you see Deacon Elijah going, I'm going to the Philippines?
Good Lord.
Oh, you shipping me back? Deep said, take him home. Plane flight got to him. Too many hours on the plane. But God's will, and God was dealing with me and you young people, God's will for your life is great.
Amen.
The topic, which I forgot to tell you all, that God gave me is finding contentment in the love of Christ.
Wow.
You
Wow.
realize that Jesus did this because He loved us, brother. He loved us.
All right.
You realize that Jesus did all of this because He loved us. Because He loved us, He went through all He went through. Because He loved us, He did all these things. How can you not be content? We strive for things in life, and we're supposed to aspire to great things, but we also got to be content where God has you, because He's preparing you for the greater. He's preparing you for more. He's getting you ready for the better. But we got to be content. We can't complain while we're waiting for our breakthrough.
That's right. That's right.
And we just got to know that with God, all things are possible. And young people, there's a lot of things in the world that promise you contentment. It's not true. Many of us walk that road. We found no contentment until we found the love of Christ.
That's right.
Amen.
Don't let the enemy fool you into thinking that the world has something that's going to bring you contentment. Contentment only comes in Christ.
That's right.
So, after I sat and I thought about it, it made sense. The word of contentment was Jesus was content that He fulfilled the will of the Father.
Yes.
Give him my time. Give him my time.
That was awesome. Contentment. Fulfilling the will of the Father, not my will, but thy will be done. Isn't it awesome how as everyone spoke, it's like we get to see Jesus' example of how to do things. And thank you, Lord, we're not going to face the cross as He faced, but thank you, Lord, that He modeled and gave us an example the whole way. And, you know, I'm going to be turning this over to Pastor Rudolph in a moment. I just wanted to say also what He modeled. You know, we have these 7 sayings, the last sayings of Jesus on the cross. If you look at, as they read the scripture, the last words, those words probably took maybe a minute to speak in total. But think about the amount of time that He was on the cross.
Yeah.
But in that amount of time He was on the cross, He only said or verbalized something for about a minute of the time. So we need to think about that as an example as well. When we're going through things, we don't always need to be running our mouths, complaining. We need to be confessing the word and speaking the word, but all those other things we need to bring to a close, because Jesus models for us. We don't need to be complaining and, you know, murmuring about the things we're going through. We just need to be content, allow ourselves to submit to the will of the Father, and know that we are walking in victory, and He's got it all in control. Let's give the Lord a praise tonight.